Park in Melrose Park as we are moving along here in the Richie Orrico 16-inch co-ed kickoff tournament. So we got Hot Stuff versus TTF, and should be a pretty good ball game. And TTF has already played. This is Hot Stuff's first game of the tournament. TTF beat Bada Bing to get here. So we're working our way down from the original 13. So leading off for Hot Stuff is Dello. So we've seen a lot of good players out here, a lot of major players, and some of the better female players also out here. Been pretty good so far. And Dello, little bouncer up the middle. Almost said mellow instead of middle. So Brian Korinkowski comes flying in, and TTF been doing something a little unusual. For a lot of the guys, they're actually playing four outfielders and relying on their middle infield to cover a lot of ground. So here's Kate. And there's a little roller back to the mound, picks it up and throws in time for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here for Hot Stuff, and it brings up Zach. So back-to-back lefties. And TTF has been one of the more notable co-ed teams in 14-inch mush. And they got a pretty solid-looking squad out here. And Zach swings and dumps it into center field, and little bobble out there, and he ends up getting all the way to second base. So the right center fielder, and with 4 outfielders, that's how you got to describe them. You got the left center fielder, the right center fielder, the right fielder, and the left fielder. So that's going to bring up PJ, the runner on second base now. Again, this is co-ed, and that is 16-inch. The women can wear gloves, the men do not. So Hot Stuff here with 2 outs, trying to mount some kind of a rally with Severus on deck. So again, 60-foot bases, 1-1 count, 6-12 on the arc, and Steve goes back and makes the catch in front of the left fielder. So 2-out double, they can't do anything with it. We'll head to the bottom of the first, no score. So the pitcher does get a drag step, 1 step right, left, or back, 2 fakes or hesitation, 3rd arm action must be to deliver the ball home. Thrower of fake toward the base. This is one of your fakes or hesitations. I'm not sure if they use pickoffs in co-ed or not, but if they do, that's the rule. No fences, all you can get if you hit it into the outfield. A couple of notable issues with this park is you've got short fences up and down the foul lines, as you can see, not very tall at all, and a short fence really on the dugout, and these weird little openings which track almost even with the bases at first and third, and we do see balls flip through there. Relatively calm day, not a lot of wind, temperature into the mid or upper 50s, but very pleasant since we don't have any real wind to speak of. So right now we've got 8 teams left in the winner's bracket, and a little bit less left in the consolation bracket. Again, 13 is an odd number. So we're chugging right along, and leading off for TTF is going to be Brian Korinkowski. And Brian, a little half cut, Dello is there and puts it away for out number 1. Brings up Angela. And we've talked about Angela in the past on the co-ed level. Former collegiate star at Northwestern, played in the College World Series. There's a ground ball to Dello, snaps a throw over, and that'll be out number 2. And Dello, one of the, really talented up-and-coming players in 16-inch softball. We talked about him, got all the tools. A little hard on himself at times. And here's Chavez. And Chavez, a nice little swing, and Dello one-hands it. And let's take another look at that. It was a beautiful swing by Chavez. Dello read it. I hope I didn't hit the replay button too soon. And you can see there, he just reached out and plucked it with one hand. Hang a star on it. So we told you, Dello got all the tools, and right on cue, he gives us a highlight reel. So we'll head now to the top of the second, no score. Both teams kind of feeling each other out here early. So 1, 2, 3 for TTF. And that's going to bring up Savarius, the short center, then Alicia and Gus. So here's Savarius. And he pounds it into center, and right on the spot is Gabby. And she makes the catch. And Gabby, a very versatile player. We've seen her play infield, outfield, got good wheels. But she came in and made that play look easy. So here's Alicia. If I'm not mistaken, Gabby's last name is Magnifico. How's that for a softball name? And what a pick right there. Steve threw it in the ground, but his first baseman bails him out. And we'll take another quick look at it. I actually slowed the replays down this year. So trying to give everybody a little better look at these replays, and that's a fine pick indeed. So we'll go back to live action. And brings up Gus. So 2 up, 2 down, a couple of nice defensive plays. And there's a slash over the top of Steve at shortstop. Angela's going to get it in. High throw. And you can tell it's early in the season. Angela's got an absolute hose. And just kind of airmailed that over the bag. So Gus with a double, and it brings up Megan. And she hits a little soft flare, and Angela comes in and makes the routine catch. So at the end of an inning and a half, still no score. Scheduled hitters for TTF will be Gabby, Mark, and Michelle. As we are outside getting some exercise for you young kids tuning in, we appreciate it, but there's more to life than staring at a tablet or a cell phone all day. So you see the Pretty Sweet Buzz logo, sponsor of the Chicago Summer Series, and also part of our media broadcast. They sell infused products. If you're an adult, check them out. Dresco Farms. And there's a little pop, and second baseman makes the catch for out number 1.
My back.
Oh no, I do that with itchy butt.
Here's Mark. And Mark's skies went up, and Savarius, a little belly catch, 2 up, 2 down. It brings up Michelle. And please, if you're using infused products, please use them responsibly. Michelle swings, and the third pop-up of the inning, this time to Dello. So they went right around the infield, second, short center, shortstop, and they go 3 up, 3 down. So both teams off to a slow start offensively as we head to the third in a very, so far, snappy ball game. So glad that you're tuning in wherever you are on this Saturday. As we're getting back to the softball season, talking to a few of the players between broadcasts, and they were all had the same, telling me the same thing, how it's the first time they've gotten outside and taken swings, and some of them are like, not quite ready yet.
If you move,
But they'll get there.
My natural reaction was just going to move.
So it's going to be Aaron Sin and then the top of the lineup with Dello
We're going to go back.
for hot stuff.
I might just put my hands up. My natural reaction is put my hands up. You don't have hands.
And I'm going to put my hood up. So we haven't had much wind. When it does kick in, it's probably well under 10 miles an hour. But been a very calm day out here. Of course, as we get closer to 4, 5 o'clock out here in the Chicago area, it does tend to get a little windy. So here's Aaron playing right field today.
I mean, no music though. I want just voice. Hey, gotta be there, kid. It gotta be there.
She took that pitch a little deep, and he walks him, and that means Sin will follow him to the bases as she is. And they're playing around with Aaron Chavez in right, saying, hey man, you got to touch first. No, you don't. So little threat here. You hate to walk the leadoff hitter, especially when he's a male. And now here's Dello, and Dello runs it right down the right field line as he walks the dog and scores the first run. I told you, he's one of the bright young players on the horizon, and he puts hot stuff ahead of 10 deep here, 1-0. So runners on the corner now for Kate. First time we saw Kate was at Brian Korenkowski's tournament out in Armour Square. And she hits it to center, and here comes Angela, and they're not even going to think about it. Angela would have gone. And word gets out fast. If you're an outfielder and you got a hose, people don't necessarily want to challenge it. And here's Zach. Double last inning on an absolute laser. And this time he hits it on the ground. Korenkowski, second run does score. They get the fielder's choice. But hot stuff pushes run 2 across to extend the lead. So it looked like he was trying to juice something in the right center, just got on top. They'll bring up PJ with 2 outs now. And of course, everybody thinks of Brian Korenkowski as an outfielder. What they don't know, and there's another one-handed catch. And we'll take a look at that as Steve at short center makes a nice play. See, one-handed that. So TTF coming to bat here. Trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the third. And it's going to be Eric, Hannah, and Stevie. Anybody gets on, it'll be Dev.
bad idea.
And there's a little ground ball to Dello. Little bobble. He's got no play. And Eric finds himself on base here to lead off this inning. It's going to bring up Hannah. And Hannah hits it fair right over the line. Little bobble. Runner's going to try to score from first, and he will. So Hannah just rifled it right over the bag, down the right field line, and drives in the first TTF run. So TTF has cut it in half here. And there's a little pop-up, and Kate makes the catch right by the opening by the gate for out number one. I don't know if that's Kate or Cat. And there's a ground ball. She'll go the short way, the turn, not in time. They do get the fielder's choice. So Dev hits into the fielder's choice, and it brings up Brian Korenkowski.
But I watched her play a million times.
And Hannah going to come in and courtesy run. 2-1 ball game here. And Brian Korenkowski in the box. Brian actually babysitting for one of his brother's sons today. And Brian 0 for 2 grounds out to end the inning. They do cut it in half as we head to the top of the fourth. There's Timmy out of town with his son Eli playing baseball. Of course, some would argue Brian is just a big kid himself, so he's well suited to be a babysitter. Just kidding if you happen to watch this later. So Savaria's going to lead off, hit a rocket center field. I think I misspoke. I think I said it was Gabby playing the right center field position. That's actually Hannah. So here's Avarius, and he hits another bullet. This time it's going to sit. And Angela, she likes to show the arm off, was actually throwing to first. But Savarius was running hard down the line, got there easily. So here's Alicia. Hot Stuff clinging to a 1-run lead here. They put their leadoff man on. There's a strike. And there's a little chopper the other way. Steve comes in, he goes the short way. And Stavarius, apparently, umpire felt he overran the bag. We'll try to take a look at it. And Brian Korenkowski put the tag on him. And I'm not sure about that, but Brian sold it. And it brings up Gus. So 1 out, 1 on now. And there's a little spinner, and that's going to roll foul. And there's a little high fly ball coming in as Hannah, and she makes the play. And we've seen Hannah play some infield and outfield. And it brings Megan out now, 2 outs. The runner on first.
Keep going. Right there.
And there's a humpback, but right at Steve, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So good swing by Megan, but just couldn't get it over the infield. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, halfway through, 2-1. Hot stuff. It's like we mentioned in the first broadcast, this time of the year, everybody just kind of getting out. There is a dome league going on up in Rosemont, but not everybody's in that league. They don't have that many teams in there. And I think for especially some of the women, this is probably the first time they've gotten out. Here's Angela, rips it, and Dello, not in time. Angela beats it out. And I think Dello was a little surprised. Angela muscled up on that and hit a rocket. And just overpowered him. And we told you she was a terrific collegiate player. So here's Chavez, leadoff batter on now. It's TTF trying to tie her go ahead here. And Chavez hits it hard, and it stays fair down that left field line. Angela got a great read easily into third, and Chavez jogs in with a double. So now TTF got a little something going. Second and third, nobody out. As Angela and Chavez back-to-back hits, and it brings up Gabby. So let's see here if she just tries to move them all along. She takes a ball on the plate. She's way off of the plate. She looks like she wants to come to this side. And Angela's a very, very aggressive base runner. And she draws a walk, so the bases are juiced with nobody out. And it brings up Mark. And there's a strike. So the pitcher jumps in and grabs one. And Mark, hard ground ball. Dello, little fumble. Can't pick it up. Everybody's safe. And the game is tied at 2. So TTF got a little something brewing here. Bases still loaded for Michelle as they tie the contest at 2. She takes a ball. And Michelle hard right at Kate. She steps on it, throws across, not in time. So Kate had a little slight hesitation. She was going to throw to second. And then they were all yelling at her to step on it. There's a nice stop by the second baseman, pulls her off the bag. Another run's going to score. TTF has played it 4. So I was saying, Kate looked to throw to second. By the time she tagged the bag and then threw across, it was too late for the double play. And that brings up Hannah, who whistled a hit right over first base, and now there's a timeout. 4-2 contest. And now they're going to courtesy run with Brian Koronkowski, one of the fastest guys in softball. And with 2 outs, he'll be flying. And And Hannah, a little roller up the middle. Second baseman backtrack. 1 run is in. Korenkowski, a big turn, trying to draw a throw. Another run does score, 5-2. As Hannah, second baseman there, made a little bit of a tactical mistake. Well, now they're saying 1 out, so I got that wrong. Here's Steve. So Hot Stuff a little loose defensively, a little pop-up. And for those of you wondering, so that's going to bring up Dev. The 9th hitter of the inning, and she lines it off of Kate's glove. Another run scores. Hannah goes to third. The ball gets away, safe. So Dev hit a line drive. Hot Stuff not helping themselves in this inning. Gabby's going to come out and run for Dev. Brings up Brian Korenkowski. So TTF has spun the lineup, and he goes big. Long one down the line. Fair ball. 1 run is in, 2 are in. This is going to be a 3-run jack by Brian Korenkowski as he puts 3 more on the board. You can see he just bombed this ball way over the top. And 3 more runs scored. 9-run inning here. Or 8-run inning. And there's a swing by Angela, and the hit parade is continuing. As Angela jumps on the hit train. 9-run outburst. It started with Angela's line drive at Dello that he didn't secure, and that ball, the right fielder got there and it went through his hands. Another run scores, and Chavez jogs into third. The right fielder got a great jump on that ball. He got there, put his hands up. And there have been several balls that Hot Stuff fielders have had a hand on and couldn't make the play. And Gabby now grounds out to end the inning. But TTF puts up 10. In the inning. As 13 hitters came to the plate. And we'll head to the top of the 5th. And we got a brand new ball game to say the least here. And that's the thing about 16-inch softball. Sometimes it starts off and you don't think much of it, but when you open the door, all of a sudden the other team just storms through it. So it's going to be Aaron, Sin, and Dello here in the top of the 5th. That pitch way inside. And now if you're Eric on the hill, you do not want to walk anybody. And there's ball 3, because that would put Sin on. And that pitch is called a strike. Aaron didn't like it. I think he thought it was inside and deep. And Aaron swings, ground ball to Steve, and he makes the play for out number 1. It's a good job by Eric fighting back after falling behind 3-1 there. It's going to bring up Sin. She takes that pitch a little deep. And there's a soft line drive caught by Michelle right above the carpet. So TTF has been a little more solid on defense. It's that last inning when they spun the lineup. They were certainly helped along. Here's Dello, and he just creases it in the left field. So 2-out base runner brings up Kate. And she hits a little roller to second. Brian Korenkowski in time. So we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. TTF exerting itself. Has taken the lead. So TTF will be playing the winner of the rejects and the base bullies if this score continues. Meanwhile, the other 2 teams on the other side of the bracket were pissed off and feisty Flamingos, and I think the Flamingos won that game. So they're in the semifinals. Not sure who won the Fat Kids bench warmer game. I think it might have just ended on the other diamond. So here's Mark leading off. Mark hits a high fly ball. Camped under it is the center fielder, Gus, and he makes the play. And that brings up Michelle. Oh, Vanessa pinch hitting for Michelle.
Dodgeball.
And she hits a little pop-up right on the spot, is the right fielder, and he makes the play. Here's another pitcher. Logan? So here's Logan, pinch hitting for Eric. And Logan, ground ball, snagged by the pitcher, nifty play. And they go 1, 2, 3.
Eric, re-entry, Vanessa, stay in.
So we're going to go to the top of the 6th inning now. It's all TTF so far. And it's going to be Zach, PJ, and Savaras coming up here for hot stuff, and they're in dire need of some base runners. And there's a swing and a little fly ball just fouled down that left field line. She tried to go opposite field. Did not miss by much. Now he goes hard up the middle, base hit. And he's going to try to stretch it, and he'll make it. So that's one of the few times that a male player on Hot Stuff has taken advantage of the 4 outfielders set and used that middle part of the field. It brings up PJ with Savaras on deck. So leadoff man on here. And there's a little overhand shot. Steve cruises over and makes the play. Zach did get to third, and it brings up Alicia. Excuse me, Savaras. Alicia on deck. And there's a high, towering pop-up. Steve makes the catch. Zach, Bluff's going. Now he's going to come. And Steve made, you know, it was one of those tags where you want to force the throw. All Steve had to do is lob it to the plate. He was kind of backpedaling, threw it wide, and that allowed Zach to steal a run. And there's a little ground ball the other way. Stevie comes in and makes the play for out number 3. They do get a run, so we head to the bottom of the 6th, 10-3. Little lull in the action here. So it looks like Hot Stuff is making a change here. Alicia dinged herself up on that substitute coming in. Hannah then on ball sneaks past the second baseman. Leadoff hitter on. Brings up Steve. Steve tomahawks it past Dello. Hannah's going to stop at second. So first and second, first 2 hitters reach for Dev. TTF is only scored in 2 innings, a solo run in a 9th spot. And so Kate that time did step on the bag right away, but on the throw across, Steve, who was running at first, ended up going all the way to third base. For those of you who maybe found this on Twitch, and Brian Korenkowski spins that foul, and comment section on the Twitch feed should you see anybody advertise anything. Those are usually scams. Disregard them. So here's Brian on the reset. And Brian, a little overhand mini tomahawk, drives in another run. Hannah gonna jog all the way to third. Runners on the corner now as they tack on another run. And they are here in the bottom of the sixth, a couple of runs away from the mercy rule. If Angela should get a double here, this game might be over. And she just grounds it up the middle. One run does score. Brian will stop at third. As Angela just saw a big hole and drove it right through. Twelve to 3 here. Base hit could potentially end the game if my math is right. Chavez drills it right at Kate. She caught that. I think half in self-defense, but she made the play, and here's Hannah. And Hannah, a little roller, and Dello, a little tricky hop, makes the play. So there will be a bottom of the seventh. Or there will be a top of the seventh. As Hot Stuff escapes the mercy rule. But a lot of work to do here for Hot Stuff. They had a 2-1 lead, and then the roof caved in with some bad defense. And now the loser of this game is out of the tournament. TTF again will advance. They've got a couple of games off, and that ball is a base hit, so leadoff hit for Hot Stuff here in the seventh. Stuff has been subbing some people in. So I think they were a little slow in realizing who was up. And there's a ground ball to Steve over to Brian, and they twist the double play right around the horn. And Hot Stuff down to their last out here. TTF has played a good ball game. They took advantage of the openings and were very solid on defense. And that's a big thing that you always got to understand, that defense plays. And there's a walk. So whoever was on deck here, Sin, will go to first. And that brings up the top of the lineup in Dello. I think that's the second time that Aaron has walked. Second time that Sin has gotten that female player walk behind him. And Dello pounds it on the ground, and I think Brian got spun around a little bit there as it looked like he broke to his left and then had to recover, couldn't make the play on Dello, who can run. threw a strike to the plate, and Dev handled it no problem. And here's Kate. And Kate back to the mound, and that will do it. So TTF, on the strength of a huge 9-run inning, cruises to a win. Final score of 12-3 over Hot Stuff. So we're starting to whittle down, and we're getting down to it. So we'll be back in a little bit with more softball. Thank you for tuning in. We love you, and more good